Family would like to give opportunity if you'd like to share a memory or a thought as we're coming to this part of the service. Someone have a thought they'd like to share? Thank you, Joyce.
Hello, I'm Joyce Griffith. I've been a friend of Ellen's most of my life, and I helped her write her book, Diary South. I didn't write it, I helped her put it together. She was a wonderful writer, and she was, I think, the smartest woman I've ever known. She was brilliant. She could remember things that other people didn't even know, and I'm just so thrilled that I was a friend, able to be a friend of Helen, and to help her with her projects. She's a wonderful woman, Ruth.
From Logan Park, where she lived with me. She was a wonderful friend and a busier person I never saw. She was blind, but she went 70 miles an hour everywhere she went. We used to say, here she comes, here she goes. And she was so busy. Other ladies there would say, I don't have anything to do. She was busy. She says, I don't have enough hours in the day to get it all done. She ran a little bank there so we could get our quarters for our wash day. She had the cards and the all kinds of birthday cards and Christmas cards. She made into scrapbooks for the children in the hospital. She saved stamps, which both of us together gave to the Pathfinders. And she was one busy, consecrated person. Another thing that she did, she loved cats. And those cats at our place, she fed them all. She went to town. She spent about $40 a month on those cats out of her own pocket. And she loved that, and she was concerned what was going to ever happen to the cats. But she was a great person for me, and when she couldn't read, she would come to my place, and we would learn our memory verses and our Sabbath school lessons. She appreciated that so much, and the letters that she couldn't read, I would read to her. So I will miss her greatly.
Thank you.
I was Rick and Leanne's teacher, and these people adopted them when they were in their 50s, and they wanted to make sure they had the best possible education, so in the summer or whenever, they would take them on trips. They traveled in many places in the United States, and she was full of knowledge about where they went and everything they saw on the way. And she was always a cooperative parent and a friend. And the cats had been mentioned, but one day recently when I went there, she was cooking ramen noodles, and they weren't whole grain, so I knew they weren't for her. So I asked her about it, and she said, oh, they're for the cats. She said, and I found out it wasn't to stretch the cat food, it was to have them something warm in their stomachs, full in their stomachs, and they'd sleep better.
Hi, I asked her one day about her energy, and she says, come over sometime and I'll show you the recipe I use. And she went through step by step and had it all written out for me, the recipe that she uses, and if anybody wants it, I'd be glad to share it. And it takes a little time, and I have to admit I used it for a while and then didn't continue with it, but it's all very healthy, and I do have that.
Hi, I am Yvonne Ross Thornton, and our life with the family goes back a long, long ways, because actually we were friends with her husband Lee for a long time. When we first moved to Idaho, we were not real close neighbors to Lee and his 3 younger children, but we were there, and we went to school together, had a good time. We all grew up. Well, actually, we almost grew up, went to the academy, and that was when I met Daryl and Ed. But we still never knew, I still never knew the guys really well. Grew up, got married, came back 10 years later, and here Ellen and Lee were together. They had 2 brand new babies, and my children went to school with their children. And Lee and Ellen had bought this property up in the mountains, and they always said, and of course we ended up neighbors here too, and they always said, well, you need to come up and go camping with us sometime up to our cabin. And somehow we just never got it done. Well, my husband and I ended up buying some property up in the mountains, had no idea we were going to be neighbors there. And so we were just neighbors all the way through, and I've just had the pleasure of serving Ellen all of these years. I'd come in, bring her food products, do this and that, whatever I could for her, and just to be a friend. And I just appreciated her so much.
Anyone else have a memory?
My name's Tim Ramsey. The thing that impressed me most about Grandma is that she always had this impeccable consistency to base everything on principle. And no matter what I asked her or what situation she was in, it was always based on her conviction and her love for God.